What's down, people, and welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Gospel. So where we left off at, last week we talked about how Jacob, or Israel, depending upon what God feel like calling him at the time, and his sons started running out of food, so he sent them down to Egypt to buy some grain. They brother Joseph had grew up, so they ain't recognize him, and he was running the whole country. So when they showed up to buy grain, he called them boys spies and threw them in prison. After 3 days, he let most of them boys out, but he kept his brother Simeon locked up and told them he wasn't getting out unless they brought his baby brother through. But they daddy Jacob was like, absolutely not. And now we caught up. So chapter 43 started off talking about how the famine was bad out there, and Jacob and his sons had ate up all the food that they had brought back from Egypt. What's crazy is, the whole time they was grubbing, Simeon was locked up in the Egyptian prison. I bet them boys was like,
oh, my poor brother. Oh, my poor brother. Here you go, bro. Wait, what was I saying?
So Israel was like,
y'all go back and buy some more food.
But his son Judah was like,
that man said we wasn't gonna see him again if we ain't bring our little brother with us. If you let us bring our brother, we'll go and get the food. But if you ain't trying to do that, we gonna be right chill. That man said we wasn't gonna see him again if our brother wasn't with us.
So then Israel was like,
why y'all be making all this trouble for me? Why y'all even told that man y'all had another brother?
And they was like,
he kept asking about our family, if our pops was alive and if we had another brother. And we just told him the truth. How we was supposed to know he was gonna tell us to bring our brother back out there?
So then his son Judah was like,
send him with me. We'll head on down and pick up some food so we ain't gotta starve to death. Us, you, or the rest of the fam. I'll be responsible for Benjamin. If anything happened to him, you could blame it on me. If I do anything other than bring him back to you, you could blame me forever. If you wasn't so busy stutter stepping, we could have went and came back 2 times.
So then Israel was like,
I guess it is what it is then. Do this. Grab some of the best stuff you can find from around here. Pack it up and bring it down to that man for a gift. Bring some of that smell good, some honey, some gum, and some of that syrup. Not that kind of syrup. And also bring some pistachios and almonds. Also, take twice as much silver as what y'all took down the first time, and give him back the silver that y'all found in y'all bag. Maybe it was a mistake. Take your brother too and leave ASAP. I'm praying God calls this dude to treat y'all decent and release y'all other brother and Benjamin. As for me, if I lose my sons, I guess I just lose my sons.
So Israel's sons packed up all the gifts he told them to bring, plus double the amount of money they went to Egypt with the first time to pay back what they owed, and also to buy some more grain. They also grabbed up their baby brother Benjamin to take with them, and ain't waste no time heading out. So when they showed up and Joseph saw his baby brother, he told his house manager,
take these dudes to my house, kill an animal and throw that joint on the trigger because they gonna eat with me at noon.
So homie did just that, and when they showed up, them boys got buku paranoid talking about,
he brought us out here because of the silver they put back in our bags the first time. They gonna rush us and make us slaves and steal our donkeys.
That sound funny, right? But you gotta remember that back then, donkeys was transportation. Essentially, that man was worried that they was gonna get locked up and their rides was gonna get stolen. I'm glad our government will never do something like that to us. So them boys came at Joseph's house manager like,
excuse me, sir, we really did come down here to buy food last time. When we pulled over at La Quinta for the night, we saw that the silver that we spent on the grain was sitting in the top of our bags. We brought double with us this time to pay for food. We don't know who put the silver back in our bags.
So then the house manager was like,
man, y'all good, don't trip. Y'all God and y'all daddy's God must have put that treasure in y'all bag. I got y'all silver.
Then he brought their brother Simeon out to him. After that, he took them in the house, brought them water to wash their feet, and brought food for their donkeys. Basically, he washed their cars and gassed them up. So once they found out they was gonna be eating at his house, they put together them gifts that they pops had him bring for him for when Joseph came home at noon. When he showed up, they brought the gifts in the house and bowed down on the ground in front of him, just like that dream he had. So Joseph asked if they was good and how they pops was doing and if he was still alive. And they was like,
oh yes sir, he alive.
And then they bowed down on the ground again. If you wondering why they all seem so shook, that's because Egypt back then wasn't like Egypt is now. Egypt was one of the oldest and most powerful countries in the world. And Joseph ran that whole country. And everybody in the room knew it. So when Joseph looked up and saw his little brother Benjamin, his mama's only other son, he was like,
this y'all youngest brother, the one y'all told me about? God bless you, my son.
Then he ran up out the room because he was all in his feelings and about to start crying. So he went to a room inside the house and he cried there. So after that, he washed his face and pulled himself together. And when he came out, he was like,
serve the meal.
So when they served the food, they served Joseph by himself, his brothers by themselves, and the Egyptians by themselves. Because even though Joseph ran the whole country, Egyptians still felt like they was too good to eat with Hebrews. When his brothers got sat down, they sat him down in order from oldest to youngest, and the brothers was shocked. And when they served the food up, they served Benjamin 5 times more food than they served the rest of them. And they all started drinking and got drunk with Joseph. So that's it for this week. If you don't know Jesus, but you're trying to get to know him, go and click that first link in the description down there. I'll see y'all next week. And as always, peace, and I hope y'all people straight.